Jim Miller. Welcome to the studio yet again with me on a Saturday evening. You and I about to talk about some old Dude What classics. A Dude What original Jim Miller. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hi, guys. Hope you are having fun on this Saturday evening with us, joining us for the ride. I am Brian. He is Jim. Say hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
And we are your hosts of the Dude What Movie Review Podcast.
Dude, what?
It's going to be a lot of fun, Jim. We are diving back into our own personal archive. We are busting out another Dude What original. This is a fun one. This is a great one. This is a landmark episode, and I'm excited to talk about it.
Dude,
yes.
This is one of my favorites.
I know, man.
Of the early days.
Like one of the early run, this is one of the episodes that we look back and we're like, man, really proud of that one, actually.
Yeah, for a ton of reasons.
We're probably going to cover quite a few of those reasons in a minute.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, but for sure. A big-time fun one for us. It was episode 6, Believe It or Not. Some of you guys, that might give it away, what it could be, especially if you've been following along on these Dude What original re-releases, because you know that the category on this is sci-fi action. And I'm not even going to talk about what the film selections are, because when you guys roll into this episode, we're right there at the jump. It's like right there. So we're not even going to talk about that. Just believe it or not, sci-fi action. So, Jim Miller.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the production notes that we have on this. A lot of fun. We always talk about the montage on this episode, and we're going to get to that here in a minute. But I want to talk about some of the other stuff that didn't quite make it on this re-release. Like, for example, the origins of the 2420 West studio. That's where we're at right now, Jim. The official 2420 West studios. Back in the day, the 2420 West studios was actually my bedroom in my house.
Yeah, it's really kind of like Air Force One, right? Wherever we were recording Dude What is where 2420 West Studios was.
Yeah, pretty much. It moved from the garage to the bedroom, back out here. It took a while to get back out here, though. But, hey, we're here, and we're doing it now.
From the window to the walls.
Don't.
Jesus Christ, man. There's just some things you don't talk about in public.
Watch it now. Watch it. I'm trying to avoid putting any kind of disclaimer on the beginning of this. Anyway, the 2420 West Studios origin, where does it come from, Jim? Shh. We're not talking about it right now.
Top secret.
It is top secret. Because we reveal the origins of that at a later episode.
This is true.
This is actually a couple episodes down the road. Actually, I believe it was in year 2 of our show.
The next season.
And actually, we had our second guest on our show on that episode as well.
Okay.
And that's why we reveal the origins of the 2420 West Studios. But we'll talk about that later.
Yep.
We're not talking about that right now. That's a whole other episode. Another thing that was going on at that time, Jim, our shoestring budget, nothing has changed.
A little has changed.
A little has changed, but not really.
We had talked about it at this time, I think we might have already mentioned on a previous episode, but during this season, during this time when we had first started, we had both had Rockband microphones.
We did.
That were donated.
Now,
we were using the microphone stand.
It's a pull leg.
A pull leg, basically.
For an above-ground
for above-ground pull. That we were still using at the time.
Here's the funny thing about this, though, Jim. I've been racking my brain about this because we're going to talk about another episode that's coming up here very soon, very, very soon. That's going to play a pivotal role into the history of Dude What.
Yes.
On a lot of reasons, production-wise and just, the history of our show.
It moved us up to Velcro, I think, at that point.
No, it did not. No. But I'm trying to remember. I can't pinpoint when we actually got away from the pull leg mic stands. Have we gotten, at this point, the actual mic stands that we had?
No.
Man.
The next episode. Yes.
Okay.
Because we had recorded the episode after that first.
Oh, we did. That's right. I had forgotten about that.
Which we'll talk about that
I completely forgot.
It was the first time we had ever recorded out of sequence.
We did. That's another funny thing that we're actually going to talk about on the next episode as well. We got a lot of production notes, man. There's so much stuff that was happening back then.
It's kind of crazy. I mean, we just were talking like at the time of recording, we're literally a day past our anniversary. Happy anniversary to you.
Happy anniversary.
Of 6 years, man.
I know.
6 years of recording and doing
crazy.
the show. Yeah, so it's been fun to just kind of go back. And I know a few of these episodes we've kind of given people a peek, maybe the first, second season.
Yep.
But it's just been fun to actually go back and talk about the history.
Absolutely.
Of what we were doing then and like what we were thinking or not thinking. And
right.
just trying to keep things together with a little bit of bubble gum. So.
Well, staying in theme with the shoestring budget, I mean, back then, our rickety old box that we have right here, which will never change, Jim. It's right here. It's never changed. I'm holding it right now. You're looking at it in disbelief that it's lasted this long. It's ridiculous. But at some point early on, I think you mentioned it, I think on the previous Dude What original re-release, I had put these black streamers in here.
Right.
I don't know why I did that. I thought maybe I was creating some kind of dramatic effect for you, or maybe I was just trying to make you giggle, and it worked because you commented about it repeatedly.
I did.
I think even on our Christmas special, you made some kind of reference in the retelling of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas about Rastafarian dreadlocks or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll get to that at Christmas. But yes, I had we called them death streamers. They were black streamers that you would hang from your ceiling for a birthday party or something. And
yeah, they were at the discount bin in Party City.
I taped them in there just to mess with Jim, and it actually turned out to be a pretty funny gag on there, really.
Well, talking about the box, because there's been a few times in our 6 years of being together that I've mentioned, hey, we should maybe get a nicer box.
Right.
And then it was pretty early on when I was talking about that, and you're like, no, this is what it's going to be. And ever since then, it's been kind of like, yeah, okay.
You made a lot of mention early on to the idea of getting Ron Swanson to maybe put together a box for us.
Yes.
Were you just like a Parks and Rec kick there for a while or something?
I was.
What was the deal with that?
I was because that was early on. Let's see, Nora was still young. Annabelle, I think, had just been born right around the time that we had started this.
Right.
So, yeah, that's right, because with all of my kids, I've always had a big move or big creative venture that I start like a month before. And Annabelle was Dude What? And then Isaac was Humble Planet whenever I started it. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stop having kids.
I know,
think
right?
is what we've learned from this.
Yeah,
you don't have enough time.
It's my form of nesting.
You don't have enough time, Jim, for anything.
Most people kind of they focus in on home and they nest that way. I nest by, hey, let me create and do something completely new.
Hilarious.
And it's going to take all my time.
This is ridiculous. Cut out of this episode at the beginning, Jim. We do a little movie talk on our show from time to time, but we hadn't actually created the category or the segment of the show called Movie Talk. We hadn't done that yet. It was just kind of free flowing. We would just kind of dip into movies or whatever. And it really had no structure to it. And it was kind of like that on this episode. So I felt like it just didn't flow well with what we were doing. So I went ahead and cut it out there. But I wanted to make mention of the fact that we did chat a little bit about the movie The Truman Show on this episode. So if you guys do go back in our archive, dowhatpod.com/archive, and listen to this in its original release, you will hear us talk about that. And one thing in particular about the film, The Truman Show, that you will hear us talk about is a little actor you may have heard of. He's kind of done some things. He's kind of maybe a little bit of a big deal. Mr. Ed Harris.
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude. Now, the reason why I bring up Ed Harrison, now we talked about him in The Truman Show, we talked about him in The Rock, we talked about him in Enemy at the Gates, and the reason why I'm bringing him up now is because in the future on this feed here, Jim, we're going to be doing another movie binger. Now, we did the movie binger action films, and that was a lot of fun. We talked about a ton of action films. But I know that you and I both have some dramatic films that we're probably going to be talking about as well. And I just recently... And when I say recently, I mean last night, I watched a film with Ed Harris that was tremendous.
Okay.
Absolutely wonderful. And I can't wait to talk about it. So that's a little teaser for you guys down the road here on the feed, a Dude What movie binger of dramatic films. So that's going to be a lot of fun to do that. Now, I mentioned right up off the jump, Jim, when we started recording that when we go to the original episode 6, believe it or not, Sci-Fi action, we go straight to talking about what the movie is going to be. All right, and we talk about the category sci-fi action, and we talk about what the movies are in that as well. And one thing I wanted to note is how early on we were conscious about building up to the reveal, just creating the categories, talking about the films, you laying out some little fun facts about the films early on. And you took that upon yourself to do that whenever you would break down these individual films that were in the category, laying out a couple of the stars there, and maybe they had some wins, here and there or whatever, some notoriety about the films. And that would just help kind of build and build and build up to the reveal of the film. And I think early on, we were doing a really good job of building that suspense going up, especially in our young evolution. We're only on episode 6.
I think part of that also was the fact that, you threw a lot of curveballs at me early on. Because,
I tried to, yeah.
And we may have mentioned this before, but like before we actually started recording the very first episode, we had a notebook, and you were reading off some of the movies, and I was just losing my ever-loving mind. And you were like, I need to stop reading these.
Yep.
And so you were already putting some of those that I knew were in there.
Yep.
You were already starting to mix those into the categories and throwing me for a loop completely, because you would reveal a completely other, like a different one. And I'm like, very good at misdirecting.
Oh, yeah. And that was part of the fun. I think we knew early on that to create a product that people wanted to listen to, you have to have a high level of entertainment. And part of that is a little bit of the intrigue. It's like, what is it going to be? What is going to be in the box? And you have to build up to it. You can't just say, oh, it's this. You know, we did that on the first 2 episodes, and, you know, it was fun for what it was. But we knew even then, no, we got to do something more dramatic,
more entertaining.
That's right. And I think a lot of playing into that was the fact that we were using video rentals back at the time. Yes, people, they used to have these brick and mortar setups. You would actually go there. There were places. They were called video stores. And you would go and you would rent movies. Yes, I said it. You would go rent movies from these video stores.
Movies. Yeah. It's like going to your library now to get a movie.
What's a library, Jim?
Right, yeah.
Right?
It's a place that have movies.
That's right. The family video, man, such an integral part of our show in those early days, man.
Big time. Actually, to the point where I know behind the scenes we were talking, or I was talking often about like trying to get them to become a sponsor of what's in the box.
Well, you know, here's the thing, man. We had such high hopes for that too, because of the fact that, yeah, it was such an integral part of our show. It just made sense. It was a partnership that seemed like it would be really good, you know, on paper. And then the fact that Stranger Things, you see that where Robin and Steve Harrington are working at Family Video. It only made sense, but then you see the drop of the home video rental.
Yeah, I really
thought, Amazon.
Yeah, I really thought for sure with Stranger Things, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a nice little boost. And then like, you know, Family Video right after that was like, yeah, we're closing.
Yeah,
our
we're
doors.
closing our doors. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, thank you, Amazon. Speaking of Amazon, dudewhatpod.com/support. Click on the Amazon link and you can rent your movies there.
Yeah,
or buy them.
They're really kind of a necessary evil at this point. You know, we're using them as much as they're using us. But Jim, Family Video Rentals is going to be playing a big part in these early episodes, and especially on this episode right here, because Jim has a little trouble figuring out what the movie is because it doesn't say it on the disc.
It doesn't.
It just has
an image.
It's just an image, and he had to figure it out. And you're going to hear that here in a second. It's going to be a lot of fun when you hear his reaction, and we'll talk a little bit more on the back half about Jim's reaction. I'm excited for you guys to hear this episode, honestly.
Well, if it's any consolation, I'm still pretty disappointed in you.
What we're here to do, we're here, obviously, to break down a movie
that you haven't
seen. That I have never seen.
That you should have seen.
That I should have already seen.
Right. And so this week we're covering sci-fi.
Sci-fi action.
Yeah, so...
that was the category.
Right, so you gave me 3. You gave me Alien.
I gave you Alien.
Which is a 1979 movie, sci-fi thriller, more like sci-fi horror.
Right.
Starring Sigourney Weaver, director Ridley Scott. In space, no one can hear you scream. Like, that's the infamous line or famous line. Also, you gave me Blade Runner.
That was a very dramatic retelling of that tagline.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that.
You gave me Blade Runner, 1982 sci-fi thriller, directed by Ridley Scott as well.
Go. Ridley's on to something.
Yeah, starring Harrison Ford. And then The Matrix.
Directed by Ridley Scott?
No.
Sorry.
1999 sci-fi action, directed by the, I don't know, Wachowski brothers.
Yeah, I believe it's the Wachowski brothers.
Yeah, which is actually 2 ladies, Lana and Lily. But anyway, starring Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne. And they won a bunch of Oscars. So regardless of whichever one is in this... ugly box.
What ugly box?
Oh, what's in the box?
What ugly box? What are you talking about?
We're working with Velcro on a shoestring budget. So
I think we really should upgrade that. That's pretty.
Dude, I'm serious. We need to talk to Ron Swanson and have him carve.
I think we should just leave it. Honestly, it's kind of so bad that it's good now. It's kind of like wearing.
I'll be honest. I'm embarrassed to take a picture of it and put it on Instagram.
I took a picture of it. I just haven't put it on Instagram.
Yeah,
I think I keep fighting the urge to have you put it on there.
I will have to run it through 30 filters to even make it look worthy of a like.
There isn't a filter in the world. Silicon Valley has not come up with a filter to fix that box yet.
It's pathetic, actually. But anyway, let's do this.
Go ahead, man. Everybody wants to know.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? I do the streamers, though. I heard this, so...
I don't know what made
did you rob a birthday party or something?
I robbed a factory card outlet.
Oh, gosh. What am I looking at? What? Are you serious?
Are you yelling into the mic again?
Yeah, dude, seriously? I was not Alien?
I've never seen Alien.
You have never seen Alien?
I've never seen Alien.
Brian Sumner.
Secret is out. I've never seen Alien.
Never?
Never, not once.
Not even little clips of it?
Never caught it on TV. Never walked in on it. Nothing.
I'll be honest with you.
Nothing.
When you gave me the list, I was like, I have a feeling it's going to be not Alien.
Way to narrow it down.
Right. Well, I was just like, surely he's seen The Matrix and surely he's seen Alien. But, seriously?
Alien. For real.
I'm trying to... This is older than you, again.
Is it?
Yes. It was Are you 1979?
Yeah, it's older than me. By a year. 1980. I was born in 80. So if this came out in 79, yeah, it's got a year on me. It's got a year of existence on me.
Brian, okay, so why have you not seen Alien?
I really have no legitimate reason why I've never seen this.
Are you anti-sci-fi?
No, I actually love sci-fi movies.
Dude, this is one of the crown jewels of sci-fi horror,
I know.
I'm sorry that I've been yelling into the microphone. I honestly, my reaction,
your reaction for me is the best part of the show, in my opinion.
Which is why we started doing the categories, so I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, we got to make sure that I kind of swerve you a little bit. That way you don't have any idea what we're going to do. Because I could just go ahead and tell you at the end of each episode, hey, next week we're going to do this, but what's the fun in that?
Right. No, I agree. But I'm at a loss for words, bro.
These are legitimate responses, people.
So when I said in space no one can hear you scream, you really know what I was talking about?
I really had no clue what the hell you were talking about. When you said that, I was like, sure, okay, makes sense.
Well, but what? Okay, man. So it won the Oscar for best visual effects.
Okay.
It was, Ridley Scott directed it, Sigourney Weaver, kind of a no-name at the time. This kind of put her on the map. Tom Skerritt, I think is how you pronounce that, and John Hurt are in it. Dude.
Oh.
There's so many sci-fi, horror, even some of the new stuff that's come out recently, I think it has a callback to the original Alien.
Right.
And obviously they have a whole franchise and stuff now of
yes.
Alien versus Predator, you've never. Seen the original.
Nope.
That started it all.
Nope.
I don't know what to do with you right now.
Well, obviously you do a podcast with me.
I guess I need to watch the movie with you, but I'm just
That's what you do with a guy who's never seen movies like this. You sit down on a podcast, you talk about it, you make fun of him.
5 people listen, and
maybe 4.
We've went up from 3, so that's good.
Hey, progress is progress in my book.
That's right. Anyway, well, I don't know what else to say to you except, dude, we need to watch this freaking movie.
Well, let's go talking about it. Let's go do it.
All right, let's go do it.
All right, we're going to go watch it. And like we said last week on the show, to maximize your listening experience on this, hit pause right now and go watch the movie. Go watch it with us. Watch Alien with us.
Unless, like last week, if we gave a really horrible rating, maybe you want to listen to our rating before you go watch the movie.
Don't listen to the rating.
But
just
don't
watch
listen to
the
us.
movie.
You have your own opinion.
Go on the journey with us, hand in hand. All right, I'm extending my hand out to you right now.
He is. It looks very majestic.
Hold my hand as we watch this movie.
You look like a rock star, but
no, seriously, hit pause on the. If you haven't seen Alien, if you're like me, if you're one of 2 people in the world who hasn't seen Alien,
seriously,
hit pause, go watch the movie, and then come back on the back end and see if your assessment of the movie kind of links up with our assessment. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna go watch the movie right now.
All right, let's go.
Let's go do it.
God.
Doesn't sound like any radio signal either.
My God. What the hell is that?
There is an explanation for this, you know.
What happened to Kane?
Something has attached itself to him. We have to get him to the infirmary right away.
What kind of thing? I need a clear definition.
Before we dock, I think we ought to discuss the bonus situation.
I didn't say anything like that except, molecular acid.
Must be using it for blood. Don't get any on your arm.
This thing bled acid. Who knows what it's going to do when it's dead?
I think it's safe to assume it isn't a zombie.
It's got a wonderful defense mechanism. You don't dare kill it.
Did you ever ship out with Ash before?
I went out 5 times with another science officer. They replaced him 2 days before we left Atis with Ash.
I don't trust him.
I don't trust anybody.
I feel dead. Anybody ever tell you look dead? What's the matter? Before they died, baby. You found this laying there. No blood, no Dallas. Nothing.
What was your special order?
Bring back life form, priority 1, all other priorities rescinded.
What about our lives?
I repeat, all other priorities are rescinded.
You admire it.
I admire its purity. I can't lie to you about your chances, but you have my sympathies.
Unless somebody has got a better idea, we'll proceed with Dallas's plan.
What? And then don't blame the others? No, you're out of your mind.
You got a better idea?
Yes. I say that we abandon the ship.
We ain't out of here in 10 minutes. We won't need no rocket to fly through space.
There's got to be a way of killing it. How? How do we do it?
You can't. You still don't understand what you're dealing with, do you? A survivor, born clouded by conscience, remorse, or delusions of morality. Its structural perfection is matched only by its hostility. Perfect organism.
All right, we are back from space.
I'm floating.
Floating.
The great beyond.
You know, I will say, what's been really fun so far about all of this is that we have literally covered a lot of territory as far as
so far
styles of movies.
Oh,
and stuff.
yeah.
I'm interested to get feedback from our listeners because I know, like, everyone has, like, a genre that they love.
Right.
And there's some that are like, I'm not a huge fan. And I know my wife's not a fan of sci-fi.
Okay.
So I'm just interested to kind of get feedback from this one when it comes out.
I think there's a lot of people that enjoy sci-fi, though.
Yeah. No, I do too. But I
especially
think
with maybe not full-on sci-fi,
Yeah.
but at least some sci-fi elements.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's so much that you can do with it.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Like it doesn't have to be just space. You can
right.
fantasy, all of that. So.
Exactly. I mean, the bounds on that are just limitless.
Yeah.
You know, you have no boundaries whatsoever. So, yeah, I mean, I like sci-fi stuff.
Yeah. So, cool. So what did you think?
This movie was freaking terrible. No, I'm just kidding. No, actually, to me, this was more suspense than sci-fi.
Yeah. It just happened to be set in that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The build-up in certain scenes was good because it kept you on your toes, like, okay, where's it coming out from?
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen. Where's it going to happen?
Yeah.
The build-up. I think in some scenes, though, that build-up was just a bit much.
Yeah.
A little too overdone. There were certain scenes you could have gotten the same effect, or you could have gotten to the point of what you were doing in that scene just a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
You didn't have to drag out so
it out.
much stuff. But yeah, overall, yeah, this is...
You like it?
I liked it. Yeah, I did like it.
What's interesting is, so I was doing some research, obviously, while we were watching the movie, because I've seen it before, but I didn't realize that the screenwriter, that basically had written, like, the way he sold it, his name was Dan O'Bannon, the way he sold it was Jaws in space.
I can see that.
And so
I can see that, yes.
I thought that was interesting, especially because our first episode was Jaws.
Right.
But, like, there's definitely those elements in Ridley Scott. This is his second film, but, like, this is the one that put him on the map.
Okay.
I mean, and then Ridley Scott went on to do, like, Gladiator, Blade Runner, Black Hawk Down. I mean, there is The Martian. Like, he's gone to do a ton of films. But this was like, boom. I mean, this was kind of his breaking out film, I guess you could say.
And it's funny you mentioned that the pitch on that was Jaws in space, because I can now that it's said out loud, I can see that for the simple fact that for the better part of the genesis of the actual alien.
Yeah.
When it's first introduced as this little bitty, like, little infant alien,
right.
little baby alien. All right, to the next time you see it when it's just this full-grown monster, which I know I said to you during I was like, wow, that grew pretty damn quick.
Escalated pretty quickly.
Yeah, huge, really fast. So you don't full on see the size of the alien for a couple scenes. It's kind of hit and miss. See it just like you did, like in Jaws. You don't get the full gravity of the size of the shark until close to the end of the movie.
Sure.
This one, it picks it up more kind of halfway, midpoint. You start saying it, and you kind of had to, just because you're dealing with. I think with Jaws they could hold off on that because you had a smaller crew that you were dealing with that were actually going for it. This one you have a bigger crew, much bigger landscape for it to move around, and a little bit more ability. It's definitely more mobile because it's it's got its footing and it can travel around on the ship and stuff like that. So, and the lighting, the way it was shot, certain aspects, sometimes you'd see it, you'd only see, like, it would be like a zoomed in shot, so you don't get the full shot of it, or the lighting was so dark, or stroby in certain aspects, and dimly lit, so you don't get the full magnitude of it. I don't know, other than the scene where the guy was looking for the cat, you kind of get the and we'll talk about that in a minute. I got a bone to pick with that.
Was the cat's name was Jones or whatever?
I don't care what the cat's name was. Look, all right, before I finish my point on the size of the beast, let me just go ahead and say it right now. If I'm in space and it comes down to me and my crew surviving or me saving a cat.
You save the cat.
No, the cat is lunch. The cat is lunch for the animal. I'm sorry.
That's right.
All right? I'm sure PETA's going to hop on the bandwagon on this, but I'm sorry. If I'm in space.
Yeah. And why even have a cat? But whatever.
I don't know what. And that could have been resolved from any. All right,
sure
we'll come back to that.
There's some fun fact I'm sure that somebody will let us know.
Oh my God, nothing can explain that. All right, there is no conspiracy theorist out there that can convince me otherwise why a freaking cat was on there. All right, we'll skip that. We'll come back. Anyway, yes, the Jaws in space. That's a great description for this movie.
Yeah,
very,
that's
very
pretty much
accurate.
how they, I think, sold it to the studio and stuff.
I can definitely see that. It's very accurate.
Yeah. Well, okay, so what were your likes, dislikes? I mean, obviously, we know you did not like the cat, but we just covered that.
I did not like the cat. That was
what are
so
some of your
stupid.
likes? What do you think are...
The suspense, the build-up, the unknown of where the alien was going to be, how that was going to go. And like you mentioned when we first started watching it, the brutal environmental nature of space, where they were at on this little planet. They get this distress signal, or not even a distress signal, as you find out. It was more of a warning.
Yeah.
Just the harsh elements of the environment they were in. It kind of just makes you, why are you going out there?
Right, yeah. Why are you doing this?
Which, I mean, we find out later why they had to.
Yeah.
Basically the corporation they worked for, it was kind of put out there they had to do it. But yeah, I mean, I like the unfolding of how they go into this harsh world, essentially, and what they discover, and then just the unfolding of the story from there. How everything's just built up, to this crescendo where it's like, boom, here comes the fight. Right. Yeah. The alien brought the fight to them. They're saying, well, actually, technically, they brought the fight to themselves. I mean,
right? Yeah,
which we discussed that too. You can go messing around with some pods, and the pod opens up, and you just, what's in there?
What's in here? Yeah. John Hurt's character.
It's kind of like the Dane Cook bit, mentioning Dane Cook again. But it's just kind of
every episode.
He's going
to be our first.
We got to get Dane Cook mentioned in there, But it's just like he did the joke. It was like, people getting stung or killed by bees. He's like, who's walking through the forest going, hey, are there bees in these bushes over here? Let me go take a look.
Right.
You see a pod open up in space.
Yeah.
I don't think anything good has ever happened from a pod opening up in space. Typically, if you see that happen, you run.
What's going on here?
Yeah, run the other way. I mean, to get away from it. Don't put your head directly over it and hope for the best.
Right.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
So, but no, the darkness of it, the suspense. I really dug that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was a suspense story. Like I said, it was more suspenseful for me than it was a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job, even from the beginning, and I kind of mentioned that when we were watching, just of capturing this element of being in space. So I was trying to picture myself in a movie theater, completely black.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you could feel just the way they even the opening sequence and how Alien... The title even came up real slow, very intentional. It just kind of really puts you in that environment pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Which would then, the unknown, I think, would terrify the crap out of you even more.
Again, we discussed this throughout the movie. I brought this point up so many times. Blame the scientists on this one.
Right, which we found out later, spoiler alert, was not a scientist.
It was an android.
An android, yeah.
But scientists and the name of science... All right, maybe there's something to that.
Yeah.
We need to put an end to all scientific research right now, because those guys are the ones going, hey, is this pod opening up? What can we do with this? Don't kill the alien. Don't damage the alien.
Right.
We have to bring it back. It's possibly it's got acid foaming out of its mouth.
Ship, but
and it's eating through the hull of the ship. But let's not kill it or anything.
Yeah.
let's just preserve it and bring it back. Makes no sense. But that's in a lot of sci-fi movies.
Yeah, I mean, of course,
you can't. I can't.
A plot point.
I can't fault this movie for that, because you see that in so many other movies where it's just like there's always the researcher. Don't destroy the organism. We need to study it and find its benefits, dude. It's ripping your leg off right now.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no benefit to that, okay? There's only a downside, so just stop. Yeah. That was stupid. So stupid. Stupid scientists. Stupid scientists. Say no to science.
Say no to science. Bill Nye, the Science Guy, will be very angry with you.
No. I will arm wrestle him.
Was there a favorite scene or a best scene for you?
I like I think it's a classic scene. Just the stomach. Or the alien, the chest or the stomach, just there it is.
So that's obviously very iconic. Like, even I think what the Film Institute of America, I don't quote me on that, but basically it was like, this is it's kind of gone into this library, if you will, of like iconic movie moments. So the interesting thing about that scene, though, and I mean, this is obviously Google, Wikipedia, movie phone, I think. So in the script, I guess it was just written that the thing emerges. So none of the actors knew exactly what was going to happen.
Oh, really?
So that's why when you if you were to go back and watch it again, you see the reaction is genuine. Like, they had no clue it was going to.
No one smartened them up on that.
Right. And then Veronica Cartwright, who plays Lambert.
Okay.
I think they told her, you'll get, just so you know, you'll have a little blood on your face or whatever.
Well, that wasn't a little bit of blood.
So that's you see that reaction. Well, I don't know if you noticed, they didn't turn to her character. She screamed, but then they didn't turn to her character for a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I think in the original shooting, after the thing emerged, she fainted.
Oh, really?
She passed out. So
that wasn't a little blood.
No.
All right. She looked like she was front row at a Gallagher show.
Yes.
All right. She got smashed with strawberry
very
pie.
Much so. Very much so. But that was obviously that's a very iconic scene, and just I mean, even spoofs and stuff have been done on it now, since then. But okay, so obviously that iconic scene. So what do you have any other favorite scenes?
Well, if I'm being honest, Sigourney Weaver, a young Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
And white cotton shirt and panties. I think it's only fitting. She took my breath away.
Waited to the very end.
I mean, there's a number of scenes. Just the overall suspenseful build-up. It's like a culmination of scenes. I can't pick any one in particular out, but definitely for sure the iconic scene, and definitely for sure Ripley sans clothing.
Those two.
Yeah, just
for sure. Oh man, too good.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about the alien in and of itself?
Okay, the actual concept, and seeing the initial concept and the design brought together to create the on-screen presence of the alien itself.
Yeah, and just
terrifying. Terrifying.
Yeah,
and it's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
And they've obviously with CGI and everything nowadays, the sequels and things like the Alien has.
But this was 79, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was.
I believe so.
Yeah. That was impressive.
Yeah.
That thing was terrifying.
So the reason why I brought that up is because the artist, his name is H.R. I'm going to say Geiger. I may be pronouncing that wrong, but he's a Swiss artist.
Yeah, it's Geiger.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. So his initial designs for this, what they call the xenomorph, which is the alien. So when he's coming in, I guess, to L.A., Customs held it back because the images were so disturbing.
Right.
So then they had to basically the producers had to go there and say, no, look, this is for a movie.
Oh, okay.
And everything, but I don't know.
So they thought he was. He was coming to L.A. to do some serious damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he intentionally, some of the other studies and stuff on it showed that he intentionally left the eyes off the alien to just create even more of a soulless feature.
It drives home the point. I mean, just the shape of the head and the mouth, and then the protracting inner mouth. Yeah. I mean, it's ugh. Yeah. It's ugh. Just as terrifying. It really is. And like you said, the fact that there's no eyes or no visible eyes that you can see on the head and what's on screen, it's just got this massive head. I mean, it really is. I mean, if you see something like that, I mean,
especially in space where no one can hear you scream.
now I understand.
Now you understand.
But no, if I saw that thing, I'm done.
Game over. Here's the cat. Here I am.
Hey, eat the cat. If that doesn't do anything for you, take me, make it quick. Please, because you are terrifying the hell out of me right now with your non-eyed face. Drooling acid spit,
yeah.
And just your 14 mouths and your head that is bigger than Texas.
Yeah.
It's
a good description.
Just end it now. That thing is... Ugh, God,
yeah, it's pretty...
That thing is literally the stuff of nightmares.
Yeah.
I mean...
No, I agree.
If they were going for intense scariness, they scare the hell out of you right out the gate, they did it.
Did a great job, didn't they?
Job well done. Job well done.
Right? What would you say, now seeing the film, how have you seen it shape maybe the genre of sci-fi, horror, sci-fi thriller, as well as just movies in general?
I think the idea that you can take science fiction elements and horror elements and put them in a really good story and make them suspenseful.
Yeah.
And build on the suspense aspect and use human emotion to build towards your end goal, which is this terrifying thing.
Yeah.
And you don't have to focus on the shock value of whatever beast that you in whatever movie. You don't have to worry about gore. You don't have to worry about all these other excessive things. You can just focus on story and story building within the realm of the genre that you're working in. It's like any other thing. You don't have to beat a dead horse with excessiveness in certain areas. You just have to have a good story.
Yeah.
And you have to have good suspense, and within regards to like this storyline.
Sure.
So I think they did a very good job of showing how to build suspense within a sci-fi realm.
Sure. Yeah.
So that right there. And like I said, this is 79, so obviously there's a lot of other space movies from that point on.
Most definitely.
More than likely, there's probably a large percentage of really just terrible space movies.
Yeah. Yeah. But even just that whole concept of like aliens attacking, like
right.
You see that a lot even in the genre still, and I feel like Alien kind of is the probably just like Jaws is for many. They turn to look for pull certain elements out of. Same deal with I think Alien within the sci-fi genre especially.
Right.
So it's Ridley Scott. His brother Tony Scott, who did Top Gun, which obviously we shredded, but like
are they really? They're seriously?
Brothers. Yeah,
they're brothers.
Yeah. And Tony Scott, like I forget, we didn't even talk about it during.
So okay, so
Tony,
let me get
so he's a younger brother of Ridley. No, but and he went on to do Man on Fire, Days of Thunder, so a lot of because I started thinking about that after the fact even, but a lot of the stop and go methods of the Top Gun is just kind of Tony's, right? That was kind of his little marker on it, but Ridley Scott, there's elements of that I think you see even in Alien that you see in other movies.
What I was getting ready to say was, though, so he puts out Alien, and then a handful of years down the road, his brother puts out Top Gun.
Yeah, both with what Tom was his name? Tom Skerritt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, another connection.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering what that Thanksgiving was like that year after Top Gun came out.
Right.
It's like I put out Alien, I put out Top Gun. Really, you really want to make that argument?
But you didn't know they were brothers.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, apparently, the whole Scott family is big time directors. Even I think their other brother Frank, and but yeah, and Ridley is actually Sir Ridley. He was
Sir Ridley.
Yeah, he was made
Sir Elton John.
Yeah, because of his contribution to British film. So
well, there you go.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, but anyway, now you know.
That's the only little tidbits of information you're going to get here on the Dude What podcast. Just throwing that out there.
Or Google, but whatever.
Google's really good too, but if you want, it to be entertaining,
I don't want to act like I know what I'm talking about. I had to look this stuff up.
He knows exactly what he's talking about. He is a movie database.
I'm not. I am not. Do not come to me for that. All right, man. So, any other final thoughts or anything on that?
Just, I would say that having not seen it, I would say it was right on par, maybe a little bit higher than the expectations I thought for it.
Okay.
I didn't realize it was going to be as suspenseful. Easy for me to say.
Suspenseful?
Suspenseful. I didn't realize it was going to be as suspenseful as it ended up being. In that regard, going beyond the realm of a sci-fi movie, it delivered for me.
Yeah. So, I guess in that note, what would your ranking be? Brian, I want some answers.
You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
You want answers, Jim?
I do. Just give me the truth, man. Lay it on me. What's your ranking? What is your rating for Alien?
Well, I got to say, this was this movie. This was a pretty good movie, and like I said, it exceeded my expectations. Not too much, but enough, to have me drawn in. And I love the story, and I love the suspense, and I love the build up and everything. I would have to say, I got to give this. This is a landmark. I'm giving it a 4, man.
A 4?
A 4.
Really?
I'm giving it the Tropic Thunder treatment.
Yeah, we haven't
Playing the dude disguised as another dude.
Oh, man.
Tropic Thunder is a great movie. They're
I'm a dude, playing a dude, disguised as another dude. I love that, man. Anyway, yeah, Tropic Thunder. So what?
Tropic
the
Thunder.
First one we've had.
Yeah, this is the first 4 that we've had on here. First 4 rating. Tropic Thunder it's a great movie, but it for me there's a lot of movie that would make a lot of people that would make this movie a 5. In their own.
You're talking about Alien.
I'm talking about Tropic Thunder.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
A lot of people would probably think it's a 5, but for me, there are certain aspects of it that keep it a notch down from being a 5.
Sure.
So Tropic Thunder's it's kind of like a 4 knocking on the door of a 5.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of feel like Alien is. Alien's like a 4 knocking on the door of a 5.
Okay.
Why? I just feel like there were certain parts of the story, like we talked about earlier, scene build up, a lot of excess stuff that could have been cut out, gotten more to the point on certain things. It just, as good as it was, I found myself watching it, though, pointing out stuff and making comments about things like, this doesn't, and I know I'm beating a freaking dead horse on this, that stupid cat. The cat. That was a plot hole that made no sense to me.
Yeah.
It really made zero sense to me. And I know it's such an insignificant thing in the overall story, but it does detract because so many instances
they're going after the cat.
They're going after this cat when they know they got this big beast on their ship killing.
Right.
Really? A cat? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm an animal lover. I have a dog and I love my dog.
Yeah. Cats aren't animals.
Cats are evil. They're not real. Cats are androids from the future sent back.
That's right.
To eliminate us.
Well, I can see why, because there are some elements even. There's some points where the music was almost too overpowering for the action, and
and you know what? Honestly,
things like that.
And that didn't really register with me as much this time. Normally, I'm paying attention to music, but I feel like a lot of the music in certain scenes were where they needed to be. But yeah, just certain little elements, just kind of little things
didn't make
kept
it a 5,
it from being a 5.
Okay.
That's really the only thing, and it's not really a knock on it being a 4.
Sure,
it's just that's where it's at. That's where it's set for me. So it got the Tropic Thunder treatment.
Tropic Thunder.
We'll get it one more time.
Dude disguised as another dude.
Such a good quote.
Hard to believe that's Tony Stark. All right.
I love it.
Anyway, okay, so with all of that being said, what are your picks for next week, man? What are your categories you can give me?
Well, I decided to kind of shake it up a little. Not too much. Just a little.
Not like Taylor Swift, Shake It Up? Or that's Shake It Off, isn't it?
Shake it up. Is it Shake It Off or Shake It Up?
Off. I think Shake It Off.
Shake It Off or up?
Off.
Up.
Off.
Off. Okay. I don't know.
Sorry, Taylor.
All right. So here's your 3 categories for next week's potential category selection.
Okay.
I'm going to go animated.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, do something a little different. Animated. Drama.
All right.
Which there's a bunch in that category.
Yeah, I imagine.
And we'll go comedy again. Comedy's a good one. Comedy's always a good one. We like to have a little fun. We like to laugh on this
Comedy
show.
Comedy is fun.
Comedy's a good one. So animated, drama, or comedy. Make your selection, sir.
I mean, I obviously like comedy.
Right.
The drama could be fun. I'm going to have to go with animated, though.
You want to go animated?
I do.
All right.
Because I think that's totally out of the wheelhouse of obviously what we've done so far.
All right. We'll do animated.
So let's do animated.
This will be fun. Are you ready for the selections?
Let's give them to me.
All right. First one is The Lion King.
Oh, my gosh.
All right.
Sorry. What?
All right.
All right.
Second one. Now remember, all right, look, all right. Let's clarify this, okay? One of these we're going to cover next week. It could be all 3 of them I haven't seen, 2 of them, 1 of them, whatever.
I'm going to start crying for you. Literally, I'm crying
You
for
look like
you
you're crying right now.
At the thought of
okay.
You're not seeing Lion
All right,
King.
so.
What the heck?
All right, so let's start again. Here we go. You ready? All right.
Yeah,
First
animated
one.
movies.
Now, one of these 3.
One of these
as an
3.
animated category. Lion King.
Oh, my gosh.
The second one, Up.
Okay.
All right. Third one, Lady and the Tramp.
Brian Sumner.
So,
Any 3 of these.
Out of those 3.
You haven't seen one of those 3.
I haven't seen one of these 3 animated features.
Bro.
I'm going to run them again. The Lion King, Up,
Wow.
Lady and the Tramp. One of those three we will cover next week on, what was that, episode 7?
Episode 7.
Episode 7 will be an animated feature for you guys. So
wow.
Definitely tune in for that next week.
Up or Lady and the Tramp.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, bro. I don't know what to do with you.
This is why we do the show.
I know.
And still to this day, I had just
You're shaking your head.
disappointment on the front end, disappointment on the back. It's just a nice disappointment sandwich, really.
What's funny about the early days, especially on this show, it's like that disappointment never goes away.
It really does.
You'll hear it on the next episode. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But yeah, it never goes away. Look, early on with this show, with the reveals of the movies, I mean, this is one of my favorite reveals. You guys just got to hear on our feed the Predator episode, which is our 4th of July episode. Special America episode. It's the most America episode ever, right? America!
Well, and it helped that we also had Top Gun right before that.
I mean, look at us, just patriotic as all get out. And that was a very strong reaction from Jim Miller on that episode. Yeah. This one was pretty stout as well. This is a pretty stout reaction on this, and there's a lot of disappointment on this.
Well, I kind of laugh at the early reactions the more I think about it and just looking back on that time, because this was before my coming out party.
Oh, yeah.
And
so
I was
restrained.
very restrained in my...
choice of vocabulary.
My frustration, yeah. And I was very limited in my vocabulary,
right.
I think, as well. So
yeah, because we were still on the Homer's Radio Network back then.
We were. Like I said, I also didn't have my coming out party until a while later. But yeah, but still, even in the midst of that, just the frustrations that I felt and still feel at times. So
we were definitely testing the limits of the mics back then, because with those Rockband microphones, there was only so much they could take, and man, you were blowing them out with your reactions.
And that's before I learned to kind of pull back, and some would say that I still haven't with my voice on the microphone.
No, you haven't. But anyway, that's fine. That's fine. We got a promo for that.
We do.
Back in those days, I was taking liberties with the editing. I was getting more comfortable with it, and you guys just heard the montage on here, and I know we've talked about it before, and I kind of teased it on the front part. This is one of the montages that we go back to and we listen to. We think about it and we're like, this is one of those that's like definite top 5, especially from that time frame, because we were still coming to our own, and I was trying to do my best with regard to bridging the front half to the back half. And I wanted to make sure that we had something entertaining in that bridge, in that montage, and the audio just worked. It just worked. Now, I will say this from a production standpoint. At the time, because it was a family video rental, I had to return the disc. Oh. And so I didn't have the disc to rip audio in my program here in the studio. So I had to rely on YouTube for all of my audio. You may not have noticed it, but I can clearly point out the different clips that had lesser audio quality than the rest of them.
As you say that, I recall you having a lot of late fees back in that day. So why did you take the movie back?
I was trying to temper the late fees. I did have a lot of late fees. You will hear about that on the show as the show goes on.
You're the reason Family Video.
I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Look, if they go back and they peel back the books on Family Video, they're going to see this very big red spot right there, and it's going to have my name next to it. It's not a good thing, Jim. But I don't want to talk about that. Anyway.
They're going to send collections after
us. They probably will.
Honestly. Send it to Stephen A. Turner at
care of Cromwell Radio, Owensboro, Kentucky.
There we go.
Talking about editing liberties back then, one liberty that I did not take back then was our flubs and mess ups, dude. We have a few on this episode here, and I realized that looking back, I was not keeping the behind the scenes folder like I do now.
Right.
You guys hear our outtake show in November. You guys have come to know it lovingly as Table Scraps. It's fun to do. We always have a lot of fun putting those together. Well, let me back up. I have a lot of fun putting those together. Jim has a lot of fun listening to those.
I do.
It's all the wacky outtakes and stuff that didn't make it to air. But in these early episodes, man, I was not cutting that stuff out. I didn't realize I didn't have the wherewithal back then to just cut that stuff out and make it a little more seamless. But I think it plays into the evolution of our show for sure.
Oh, for sure. I want to say something else real quick about the montage. If you're listening to this episode right now and you're listening to it like in your car, things like that, go back and listen to that montage with your headphones on.
Absolutely.
It's a game changer.
Yeah, because the music that I used on that, which is actually the theme from the movie Alien, it's very low key, it's very subtle, and you can hear it if you have it in your stereo. But if you listen to it through your earbuds, it really does play into the overall setup of the audio that I chose to put in the montage. I mean, there were little intricacies that played into it that I was just like, man, this really, really worked out really well.
Yeah, no, it was one of those where I remember listening to it and like, holy crap, getting chills listening to it, the first time. So, and as we've talked about, this is one of those episodes we always point back to the early days and say, go, if anything, just listen to it for the montage.
Absolutely.
But there was a lot of fun movie talk and conversation as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And because of the conversation, actually, it led to us talking about a major, major problem that I had with the film Alien that actually kept it from becoming a 5. Yes, that's right. I did not give the movie Alien a 5. You just heard it on the show. You heard me give it a 4 ranking, which is the Tropic Thunder treatment. And back in that day, that was the first 4 that we had on our show, Jim.
It was. And there's a few people, myself included, that kind of have taken an issue, but there's one super fan that took a major issue.
Yeah, and that will actually pop up here really soon in an email on one of these Dude What originals. I believe it might be like episode 8, maybe episode 9, somewhere around in there. You guys will hear it very soon. One of our super fans took very much an issue with the fact that we gave this movie a 4. Now, the reason why I gave this movie a 4 is because of a major plot hole. Yes, I said plot hole. Jonesy the cat. And the reason why I put an emphasis on plot hole, Jim, is because I made mention of that phrasing in this episode about Jonesy the cat and how it just did not make sense, how it was just, it was driving the film and it didn't need to be driving the film. They had so many other things that they could have done to drive this suspenseful film and it would have been so much better. But the reason why I put emphasis on the word plot hole is because superfan Gary Saylor, hey Gary, what's going on, buddy? We know you're listening. Gary Saylor got such a kick out of me using the word plot hole that it became a running gag at FedEx whenever we were still working there between the two of us. And so anytime anything would just be kind of weird or just kind of out of place, or if there was tensions at work, Gary would just look at me and go, plot hole, plot hole. I don't know why he got such a kick out of that, but it was so funny.
I was wondering why he always yelled at me when I walked by.
Well, you are a plot hole. I made mention of Jonesy the cat. I also said on the show that cats are evil. They are evil. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And there's no getting around it. They're evil.
Yep, still are. That hasn't changed.
I had mentioned on this show that not having a cat, I had a dog. I felt this was probably a good, appropriate time for us to talk about this. At the time, I did have a dog. I had a dog for a very long time. And we actually just recently lost our dog. Good old sweet Roscoe, man. That was a very hard thing to go through. And I bring it up because my very own buddy right here and podcast co-host, Mr. Jim Miller, he was a part of that situation whenever Roscoe passed.
Yes,
and it's kind of a touchy thing to talk about. It's really hard to talk about, but it's very much happened. It's part of life. And there's nothing we could really do about that. But I wanted to make mention of old Roscoe because I miss him. I love him. He was probably the best dog that anyone could ever have.
He really was. He was a really great dog. And yeah, thanks for bringing it up.
Hey, we always talk about our stuff here. We always talk about the hard stuff on here. We don't shy away from it. So, I made mention of him on here. Cats are evil, dogs rule, and Roscoe was the best. So we might as well just go ahead and talk about it,
Well, and I was actually going through today on our Instagram and came across a picture of you and Roscoe, actually. Nice. I think it was for Pet Day or something we had done one year.
Cool.
And, so good dog. Way, way better than Jonesy the cat.
Oh, my God. Now, if they had Roscoe on there, that would have made more sense because cats are just dumb.
Absolutely.
What you did not hear on this episode, though, Jim, aside from us talking about Jonesy the cat and cats being evil, all that good stuff, and plot holes, what have you, I cut out, we talk about the idea of doing sequels. You had made mention about the fact that Alien has a sequel to it, which is Aliens. There's Jaws had a sequel to it, Jaws 2. We actually do a sequel. We cover a sequel way, way, way down the road, man. And I believe if you guys had just heard Predator, the re-release for that,
Yeah.
we actually covered sequels 2 episodes after that.
Well, yeah, I think you're right.
So it's deep, deep, deep into our original run. So you guys probably won't hear that for a while, but just know on the horizon, we actually do cover some sequels. So that'll be a lot of fun. I also wanted to mention on this episode that this is the first time that I actually talk about something other than movies, Jim. I'll talk about a video game on here, and I cut it out on here because it just kind of was superfluous. It was extra. Didn't really need to have it on there. But if you go back and listen to this original release in the archive, dudewhatpod.com/archive, you will hear me talk about the video game Super Metroid from the Super NES gaming system, because there's a character on there named Ridley. And who directed Alien, Jim?
I believe Ridley.
Yeah.
Scott.
Ridley Scott. Not Tony Scott.
No.
We're not talking about him. We don't want to talk about him. But Ridley Scott,
Ridley.
yes. So,
Sir Ridley Scott.
So this was like some more landmark stuff that we're doing here. We're getting the first 4 ranking. The first time we talk about anything other than a film on here. We're doing all kinds of crazy stuff on this episode, man. It was a jam-packed episode, man. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, jam-packed. Also, like the second time since Top Gun that we were rocking out the Berlin, Take My Breath Away.
I believe we were doing that for Ripley, weren't we?
Yeah.
Cotton panties.
White cotton, I believe.
Yes. We love white cotton here on the Dude What Movie Review podcast for a very specific reason. You know another thing that we love on our show, Jim? Uncle Dane.
Uncle Dane.
Uncle Dane Cook, man. Look, so much love for Dane Cook. There's another Dane Cook Easter egg on this episode. We cut it out. It's at the very end. And we're actually going to try and link to a video on TikTok that is the actual bit that we used on here. And it's where Dane Cook is talking about the movie Alien. And he does a very, very, very hilarious bit talking about it, how he would love to be an alien and how you just don't mess with them because they're BA, Jim. They are BA, aren't they?
Well, this was also on the his first album.
That's right.
Which was Harmful as Swallow.
That's right.
The album that brought you and me together, actually.
Exactly, yes.
As friends. And so, yeah, we given Dane Cook a lot of love early on, and we'll go ahead and link to that as well. Like,
Cool.
if you want to purchase the album, you can do that.
That'd be a lot of fun as well. Everybody should have Harmful as Swallowed in their CD collection or on their streaming platforms because it is very, very, very funny. Now, Jim Miller, the next episode that comes after this, episode 6, believe it or not, is actually episode 7. Seriously Scary. Not scary. Seriously Scary. Now, that might give it away, Jim.
I'm pretty sure it does, yeah.
Probably going to give it away.
For everybody else.
Considering, Jim, that the listeners just heard that the category that you chose was animation. Now that category was The Lion King, Up, and Lady and the Tramp. Now, episode 7 will be our first time covering an animated category, so you guys have that to look forward to on the next episode. Actually, you also get to hear us talk about the origins of Vic the Viking.
Vic the Viking.
Tease it on here right now. We're not going to talk about it now. We're going to wait till the next episode, but you get to hear the story about Vic the Viking, and that'll be a lot of fun. You know what you also get to hear a little teaser of right now, Jim? You wanting to be a cartoon. Yes, that is going to be on the next episode. We teased it before. We're talking about it on the next episode, so you have that to look forward to. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know Jim's really excited about that.
I really am. Yeah. I still stand by my decision.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Look where that got you. You're wearing a bandana, for God's sake. All right, now look, Jim, we've reached the end of the show. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening to the show. New listeners, thank you for dropping by and checking out the show. We really appreciate it. We are going back into our archive and we are re-releasing everything. We're going back to the very beginning, releasing it in order, except for some fun stuff along the way. Like I've already mentioned a couple times on here, we re-released the Predator episode at the 4th of July because that was our unofficial 4th of July celebration. It was so much fun to listen to that and put that back together and talk about that. And that's what we're doing on the show. You old listeners, you guys, you know what's up. You guys have been with us since the very beginning, and we love you guys. We really appreciate you guys. As always, you guys can check out everything that is Dude What related at dudewhatpod.com. You can check us out on all the social media stuff. Just search for Dude What Podcast or at Dude What Pod. It's really simple. If you want to drop us some lines, it's really simple as well. Just go down to the bottom of the show notes on this episode, the very bottom down there, and there's a little link right there, and it says, hey, you guys at dudewhatpod.com. That's an email. You can send us some email, and we will read it on air.
Please do.
Please do, because we want feedback. Questions, comments, concerns, critiques. We want all of it. We love all of it. We really do. If you guys check us out on the social media stuff, maybe you should go over to Facebook. And the reason why you should go over to Facebook is because there's a little thing over there called All Access. All
Access.
It's a super secret ninja group. It's behind the scenes. We do fun stuff back there. We have an elite number of people that are in there, and they get to hear bonus stuff. They get to see pictures. They get to hear audio. We will release all access stuff all the time. That doesn't make the feed, maybe for a little while. Jim has a tendency to go in there and kind of rip it in there and put it back onto the feed. But
sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. It's hidden in that all access page, and it's a lot of fun. You can go in there and have conversations with people. We do polls, opinions, all kinds of stuff. It's fun, Jim. It's a lot of fun.
It is fun. And again, all access members, soon and very soon, that is on my radar. We are working on beginning to create the all access at dudewhatpod.com.
Ooh.
So
that's going to be a lot of fun.
That is.
Jim's got a lot of irons in the fire right now.
I do. And, it's just, and the big reason we're trying to move away from it is we like you, Mark Zuckerberg, but we also kind of.
No, we don't.
Don't.
We don't.
So.
One other thing before we bounce on out of here, I want to thank you guys once again for tuning into the show. But one thing that you can do when you're tuning into the show is help support us. There's a support button at our website, dudewhatpod.com/support. And you can click on the button right there. And there's 5 different ways that you can support us. And one way, and I was checking this out earlier, because Jim's been going through and revamping the website a little bit, and it looks really good, like especially the archive. The archive is very clean now. You can find episodes a lot better. It's so good. But one thing that I was checking out is man buns on our website. No, just kidding. Our merch. We have merch on there. That's one way that you can support us. You can get a coffee mug. You can get a T-shirt. What else we got on there, Jim?
Yeah, we got a kind of a trucker hat. We've got a beanie. We do have like a long sleeve shirt and stuff and a hoodie, but obviously right now you don't need those things.
No, you don't need those. It's hotter than hell outside.
We have the basic Dude What package, if you will,
right?
Of stuff you can get. Coffee mug, I've got one here actually. I've been using it a lot and turned out really nice. I'm a fan of it. It's just a nice mug.
Yep.
And there's 2 different sizes of mugs there. And then soon and very soon, it's something else I've been working on, is putting together some actual movie-related merch and some merch that has more like from the one-liners, maybe some, Alex, maybe there's a Batista pizza muscle shirt coming out. We shall see.
I would love that. With all of my heart.
Maybe we'll put on the back, use promo code DudeWhat.
No, don't, Jim. We've already discussed this. My God, he'll wreck your wife. Anyway, those are ways that you can support us. You can go in there, you can buy some merch, and you can just donate to the show. You share us, follow us. All those things help support the show, and we would really appreciate it if you guys do that. Jim, I got nothing else, man. You got anything for us?
No, that's it, man. I mean, we're, like you said, on all the social channels. We're on YouTube. We're on Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, Pandora.
We're everywhere.
Alexa. You can listen to us on Alexa now.
There you go. Good stuff.
Yeah. I think, Podchaser, we're on that as well. So
everywhere.
We're just,
Jim has us set up to be everywhere. And like I said, Jim has made it so easy for you guys to love us. That's all we want, Jim.
Really.
We just want your love.
It's kind of sad. But
it's not sad.
Well, I mean, how desperate we are for you to love us.
It's pretty desperate. Okay, anyway, all right, look, all right, it's getting worse. All right, really guys, just Jim, shut up. All right, we're going to get out of here.
I'm wearing white cotton.
Oh, God. Do I need to...
Bye, guys.
No, Jim. No, that's not how we end it. That is not how we end it on here.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.
That's how we end it.